Jonathan's dad is in the show today, and they're going to come out and do a little program.
All right, Ronnie Coleman. Let's talk about it. It was a good show. It was a great experience. It was everything me and my dad wanted to come out of it. We said we were going to train hard, we were going to give our best foot forward, and we were going to support each other no matter what. That's exactly what we did.
I drink peppermint schnapps. It's a liqueur. I don't drink.
Dad's very keen on, he's like, the king, he got drunk before he did his shows. He dried him out. I got to do it too. And I'm just being supportive. I'm chilling, man. It's all good. I want to see Dad be able to integrate his plan that he has for himself. So I'm looking for a liquor store.
So we find a liquor store. And we in there, we asked the guy peppermint schnapps. And he act like he don't know what peppermint schnapps is. So John just said, hey, there's something up there. So we got some, I think it was blueberry peppermint schnapps. I said, that'll do, because I don't care. I just want liquor. So I take this bottle. It's about 12 ounces, I guess. 16 ounces. I buy it. I go home. Now, I can't drink no water, but I put a few ice cubes in there, and I'm sipping on this, and I pass out on the sofa. John passed out. I think he passed out first. Then I pass out on the sofa. I wake up in the middle of the night. I almost drank the whole bottle. And so that's what made me really full of vascular. That did work too. So, but you got to be careful so you don't be drunk on stage.
So we went to sleep. I actually, during the night before the show, I never get any sleep because I'm so dehydrated, so much sodium. So right around like 3 or 4 a.m., I'm tossing and turning. I wake up and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, come on, man. And I see Dad gets up. So I'm like, oh, hey, this is what time we said we're going to eat. Let's go hit that joint. Let's go jam it. So we drove down to the 24-hour old-fashioned pancake place. And surprisingly, they were really packed. It was really cool. It was nice to see that business was flourishing in this kind of environment with everything going on.
So we went in there and we said, we're going to eat. Now, this is totally out of the box for us. You don't eat before a show, but we ate. So
I ended up getting blueberries, potatoes, waffles, and then I was going to stop there, but Dad didn't eat all his food, so I took his food and ate it. And this was to help fuel us up before the show, like I said, and we didn't have any water. I think we had maybe like half a cup of ice cubes, and each ice cube was about an ounce, so we're talking about maybe like 4 ounces of water.
I had pancakes, blueberries. My son had blueberry, oatmeal. He had some French fries. I had home fried potatoes, and then we ate all that, and we sat there like, man, I'm feeling pretty good. So we went back to the hotel, went back to sleep for about an hour. We woke up about 4 or 5 pounds heavier. So you got to figure out, and we was more ripped. So we was full, and that's what you need. So we came in fuller and bigger than we normally do. So we kind of calculated this up before we did this, because we was talking about it, that we should do it. And actually, it worked.
So the show itself was awesome. One of the things my dad really wanted, he was really jazzed and excited about, was meeting Ronnie Coleman. And I told him, I was like, Dad, don't worry, man. You're going to meet Ronnie Coleman. All the winners meet Ronnie Coleman. And I think one of us will win. So before we even, usually that's what happens at the end of the show. But whenever we arrived for the check-in, Ronnie Coleman was there. He was just chilling. He was really relaxed, really cool, really mellow. We got a photo with him. We actually got to talk to him a little bit about his business and supplement line, the King series, and we're going to try and work something out with him so we can start to carry that here at Jaguar as well. And then the whole process was really fun, and the crew that he had put together was really entertaining and energetic. Fun snippet about that is me and my dad have the same name minus the suffix in my name that has the Roman numeral 2. Well, when Dad signed us up, he signed him up and me up, and then he used the same pay format for both of us. So whenever they received that information, they were under the assumption it was one guy signing up for 2 classes, which is pretty common. Meanwhile, it was him and me. So we got there and they had all of Dad's paperwork. They didn't have none of my paperwork. And so one of the gentlemen there, he was the one using the mic. I forget what his title was, but he says, I have your paperwork. What's your name? I said, my name's Jonathan Alexander. Yeah, this is yours. then my dad was standing there, and he was like, but what about mine? And he's like, okay, sir, what's your name? Jonathan Alexander. So the same paper he had to me, he takes from me and gives it to him. Like, well, here you go. And I said, but that's mine. Well, what's your name? Jonathan Alexander. Okay, guys, what's going on here? So I actually I showed him my ID and everything. So they were able to figure it out, and they figured out that's what had transpired. And it was at that point the crew that was putting on the show realized that we were father and son. And it was kind of like an ongoing like gag. They would refer to that because they would tell me that, you need to take care of your dad. You need to make sure he's okay. Because there were several times their dad was he was so excited in the moment. Like he didn't fill out his paperwork right away. He was over there talking to Ronnie Coleman. It's understandable. They're like, where's your dad at, Junior? Where's Senior at? Get him over. You got to take care of your dad.
I competed in the 60 and over class. I ended up coming in at 213. My weight was 213, or body fat, who knows, ranged from 4 to 6%, I guess. I thought I looked pretty good. I was probably one of the biggest guys there, as far as in my class. But I took second, which was very good. I was happy to take second. I can't complain about that. One of the good things about it, though, after I competed, my son competed, and he won his light heavyweight class. I was backstage, and the promoter called me back on stage, and they had me and my son do a posing. So if you see some pictures of us on stage, that's what happened.
Now, this was a big deal for me. I had family coming from Austin. My mom had never seen me compete before. They had my uncles, my sisters, my niece, my cousins. Nobody on that side of the family ever seen me compete. So this was a big deal for me. I wanted to make sure that their efforts weren't in vain, and that I could make them proud. So if you don't make the top 5 in your class, you don't get seen in the night show. And the night show is when they're coming. So it's just been a wash. Yeah, so they were calling out the top 5, and I remember they said something like number 11, number 20, number 7, number 10, and then last they said number 192. And I was just standing there. I was like, well, before they said my number, I was like, okay, I guess I didn't make the top 5. It's they said 192. I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. So now they have the top 5, and this is pre-judging. They have us lined up out there, and they're judging to see who's the best in the class. And at that point, they did move me to the middle. Now, going to the middle represents 2 things. One, that you're the guy to beat, and 2, they're gonna compare the guy to your left and the guy to your right to you to try and see if you're better, and they're gonna rotate different people into that. The whole time I stayed in the middle. So when we got done with that, my dad was like, "You got it, son. You did it. You got it." And I was like, "Well, we'll see, Dad. We'll find out."
So after the prejudging, me and my son say, "Dad, I think I can eat a little bit more and come in a little bit fuller." I'm like, "Yeah, let's go eat." So we went and ate again. We went back to the old pancake house, and I had chicken waffles. My son had blueberry, and he had something else, some other food. He was still being a little cautious because this is something outside the box. But he did eat. I couldn't get my son to eat nothing before the show. So I knew anything he'd eat was going to bring him up. So at this time, he weighed in at 186, I think it was. Now he's like 192. Now, the night show, he was 198. Was it? 194, 95, something like that. Now, he drank a little bit of fluid, too. And so he went out there, and the boy just blew up. I blew up a little bit, too. I think I could have came in a little bit more. I could have ate a little bit more, but that's okay. But he went out there. He was able to compete with the big boys, okay? And he did very well. I was very proud of him that he didn't bow down to these guys because, he competes in the natural bodybuilding organizations. And so these guys, they can, use any supplement they want. And he never thought he could compete against them. I always told him he could.
Then they ended up giving the trophies out, and I won first on my weight class. As soon as I won first in my weight class, they kind of it blew my mind. First of all, I thought the guy to my right was gonna get that, and then after that, they let me and Dad actually share the stage together, which was really, really cool moment. It means a lot. I want to thank those guys for doing that. But we were able to hit some poses together. We were able to share the limelight a little bit, and especially since my other family was there, my mom and stuff. That's cool, man. So it was a good experience, and I know it meant a lot to my dad. It meant a lot to me, and I ended up moving on to go do the overall. At the overall, there was a guy that was heavyweight, and he was about 225, 230. I was 194, so he actually won the overall. I took first in my class, and I didn't win the overall. He won the overall, but everybody's like, you still won, blah, blah, blah. But I'm gonna keep it real, man. I never lost, so I'll always win the overall. So with that in my mind, I know that I need to take another step. I need to grow just a little bit more and improve upon things so that come the National Olympia, I can definitely do that. But this was our journey for the Ronnie Coleman Classic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have questions about what we did, how we did, feel free to leave a comment. Reach out to me. My dad will help give you information that we can. This is just something that we put together to show, things that can be accomplished, and that, when you have someone by your side, it makes something that you accomplish just that much better.